very warm welcome to Cindy's sofa at the Christian Resources exhibition. Well, it's a sort of digital sofa, but I'm delighted to welcome several of my guests here who've been involved with the exhibition over the years. And in fact, my next guest I was chatting away to just last year at the exhibition, just before he did his fantastic set in Cindy's bar, which went down an absolute storm. So welcome to Cindy's sofa, Jonathan Veira. Jonathan, welcome.
Hello, darling.
Are you all right?
How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. Are you sitting comfortably? Is my sofa nice and...
I'm in my studio in the garden. I've got nice low-level lighting. I'm surrounded by my music, guitars, pianos. I'm surrounded by all the things that I love to do. And all my... it's lovely, actually.
Oh, that's really good. You've painted a nice picture of where you are. That's really good. So how have you been coping during this pandemic?
It's been weird, hasn't it? I mean, I think, actually, I was talking to my parents who are 87 and 88 today, and they've been on their own. And my mother said, I do puzzle books and I do this and that to just try and keep my mind alive. Otherwise, I get so bored, and there's nothing to do. And so it was my wife's idea. She said, look, why don't you, the day of the lockdown, why don't you record? You've just put out a new album. Literally, we put an album out the Friday before, a big release, Friday before lockdown. How about that for timing? And we were about to do 30 shows on tour around the country, all over the place. Things like the Isle of Arran, beautiful gig, applied up in Arran and things all over the country. And it went bang, lockdown. And we just thought, okay. And one of the songs was to the blessing, the Aaronic blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and give you his peace. And I'd written this new little tune for it because I love the rutter, but I thought I want something that somebody can sing to somebody else, over them in the church, and just sing to each other, look at each other and sing. They sing that blessing. So I wrote this little tune and then I put it out. And I thought, normally you get 200-300 views on Facebook or something like that. And we got within, I think it was 2 days, we've had 10,000 views.
Oh, wow.
And within the week, we'd had nearly 20,000 views all around the world. And people that have been in my industry, in the opera world, in television and music, people who were Christian, not Christian, they said, there's a strange comfort about this. I said, yeah, it's been said for thousands of years. Yeah. It's not the ironic blessing, it's the Aaronic blessing given by Aaron. And so... it's kind of, the ironic one then is, the Lord bless you, keep you. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's ironic. The Aaronic was, and it touched people's souls. Yeah. As a result of that, my other wife said, well, look, and a friend, my nephew said, look, why don't you go live? And I thought, what do you mean go live? He said, Facebook Live. I had no idea what he's talking about. We started setting it up, and there we are, 26 shows later, and thousands of people watching every week. We've got a community online, a big community, hundreds and hundreds of people, all part of a group, looking after each other, caring for each other, praying for each other. People of faith, of no faith, drawn into this thing. It's huge. It's gone mega from a thing, so that's how I've occupied myself. I spend most of the week writing to people, Cindy, just checking how they are. If they've gone to the hospital, if they're not feeling too well, if they're feeling lonely, or if they're feeling happy or whatever. And they've been brilliant. I've got to go and have a kidney transplant soon, and I was in hospital this week. And so they've been brilliant this week, just writing caring emails, just on Facebook saying, we love you, don't worry. And the new album I'm putting out, lockdown album, we put out it was funded by the community, and we raised £20,680 in less than a week and a half.
That's incredible. Yeah, no, that is
absolutely... I know,
absolutely...
so we're putting out two volumes of music.
That's brilliant. And your Sunday evening shows are fantastic from your living room.
You're coming on. You're coming on for a nice interview, all about you. So stand by, listeners.
Keep it quiet. Right? Keep it quiet.
No.
Yes, I shall make sure everybody knows about that.
Cindy Kent, MBE. We will make sure. We'll talk about the Queen and everything. And all of that. We will. Yeah.
Let's get back to you, Jonathan. In terms of actual resources, is. Is there a resource that's helped you in your Christian walk when you've perhaps been down? Is there something you found? I guess music, yeah.
Music and words, and I love books. Books on the cover. I can never throw away a book, and in the Christian book sense, I like things that actually challenge me. Not books that reinforce what I already believe,
right?
But books that challenge what I believe.
Yeah.
So often Christians are frightened of new ideas, and I run towards them. They may be controversial, they may actually be unacceptable in the end, but I want to look at them and I want to see what they've got to say. See, because there's no point us just kind of coalescing around things that we all agree on, and then we just go, yeah, that's good, isn't it? Well, that's a nice book. It's a book that actually challenges. And so when people like, for example, when the booksellers come out with people like Philip Yancey, Philip challenges our standard thing. When I love that thing when he said, how did you come back to faith? Because I did a number of concerts with him up in town, and I was the turn, and he was the preacher, and so I was singing, and I said, how did you? He said, well, I came back to faith. He said, after being away from it for some time, I came back from the love of a good woman, classical music, and the beauty of nature. And it absolutely struck at the heart of a lot of people. He said, what about the Bible? He said, I came to the Bible after all those things. I've been steeped in the Bible all my life when I was a young boy. But what brought me back to the Bible was those three things. And I just thought, what a lovely... It's controversial to say, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love it when people challenge, and I don't care if people say, "Oh, you've got to be orthodox." Well, no, I haven't got to be orthodox. I haven't got to be anything. Actually, I'll look at it.
Yeah.
And so books are my thing. So the bookstores that are there and the book facilities that are there. I mean, I have to tell you right now that the Christian Resources exhibition, my favourite thing is not the pulpits. Okay, I don't go looking at the pulpit. All right, I've got to tell you right now. All right.
Do you know that's come as a real shock?
I don't care. All right. Now there are pulpits there, and if people want to buy a pulpit, they can get that there. If they want to buy candles, they can get them. If you want T-shirts, you can get them. If you want to see Cindy Kent, you can see her. All right, and indeed me. It's been lovely actually. Your interview sessions. It's such a great facility for people, and people come and they enjoy being together. I think that's the sense of it as they wander around the resources that they see, and they see that there are a lot of things that you can do, a lot of things that are available for people to use. So that's why I think it's a great thing. And Steve Goddard is an old friend who he runs this thing, and Steve is an old friend from 30-something years ago. So. It's just lovely to see all this happening. It's so sad that we couldn't have it this year. It's just,
absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
I must admit it. Yes, it's left a big hole in my diary because it's something I look forward to every year. But please God, we should be back next year. In terms of obviously, I hear what you're saying about all the books and everything. Is there one thing that you've discovered during this pandemic, this lockdown, this time when you've been you've discovered doing these Sunday evening shows, but on a personal level, in terms of your faith, has anything happened that you thought, no, I'm glad that's happened? What was it?
Well, I'm sitting in the room where it happened.
Okay.
And it was it's not often, and I'm going to say this to you guys because I think it's really important to hear this. There are people that there are lots of roads in the Bible, but two in the New Testament that strike. There's the road to Damascus, and there's a road to Emmaus. Often Christians want the road to Damascus because it's dramatic and it's in your face. And it's something you can see, and you want that Pauline kind of bang, whack, smack. You're blinded by the light, and but often what's beautiful and the stuff that I try and do when I do churches is I try and warm people's hearts. The road to Emmaus, and it said, "Were our hearts not warmed within us as we spoke along with him?"
Yeah.
And with Jesus as they walked back. Now, to my mind, I was sitting in this room here. And I watched a recording of a girl, a black singer in America, and she was just singing the old song, "Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on, let me stand." I'm tired, I'm weak, I'm worn. Through the dark, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. And she sung it with such passion, and it was so real. It was right in about 2-3 weeks into the lockdown. And Cindy, I was so low. I thought, I can't believe this has happened to me. I cannot believe that we're being denied the ability to earn a living. That's one thing. But being denied the ability to sing. This is me. This is what I've done all my life. I've 36 years. And this is what we do. And I just, at the beauty of her voice and the passion with which she sung it, I just felt it was. I was looking out in the studio, and it looks out on my lawn. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and the light was shining on it, and it felt like God in the garden with Adam. It talks about walking in the cool of the day, and he walked with him when he was in fellowship with him. And I just thought, take my hand, precious Lord. And I just felt as though God was saying to me, it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. It's going to happen. It's going to be difficult, but it's okay. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me on. And that actually has stayed, that sense of God walking with us and through this terrible time for so many of us, so much loneliness. And yet what has God done through this time? He's used us to speak to thousands of people. We're starting a charity lesson next week called You've Got a Friend. We sing You've Got a Friend every week. And I've just finished recording it. And we're going to have loads of people from the community online singing it in a great big video, You've Got a Friend. Oh. And it's just, well, I could never have imagined that this is where we'd be. And where you take God's hand, he leads you on. He lets you stand, even though you're tired, weak, and worn. And I don't know about you, Cindy, but this has worn me out. Some of it is just so wearing. So, isn't it? Don't you find?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I hit a wall, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, I just don't think I can get over this. I was asked to do something I couldn't do. I got inertia set in, and then, thank God, I got out of it. But that sounds great. Can I put in a quick request can I come and join that choir, please? Can I sing that song with you?
Yes, you'd like to sing. Bless you, of course you can.
Yeah. Oh, I'd like to do that.
I'd love to have you in.
That's great.
Cindy Kent in MBE. All you got to do is, you just call out my name.
And don't get me going.
Wherever I am,
yes,
I'll come running.
Let's save it for the recording, dear. Jonathan, lovely to talk to you, and thanks very much for sparing time to come and be a guest on my sofa.
No, it's great, and I'm just off to get an injection in my eye now.
And you've also, God bless you with this kidney transplant. I hope that goes well. Much. We should all be praying for you.
Thank you.
Take care, and thanks again for your time. God bless.
Nothing beats sitting on it, hearing it, tasting it, wearing it, handling it, trying it, comparing it.
The copier produces 1,000 copies for £4. The Riso digital printer produces 1,000 copies for £1.20 at 140 pages per minute.
Discussing it.
The interesting thing about this centre is it's a very difficult breed on a very small site.
Buying it. Recommending it. I definitely recommend it.
It's always good to have resources, and this is very resourceful, so it's a great place to be.
Nothing beats being here. Buy your tickets online now. creonline.co.uk/tickets.